So it is WrestleMania week. We're just a couple of days away from WrestleMania. A lot of people going over there, either making their way to there as we speak, or are already at the Big Easy, New Orleans, Louisiana, for WrestleMania 30, which will of course be hosted by Hulk Hogan. A lot of people I know are going. AJ Kirsch, formerly of WWE Tough Enough, will be having Hood Slam on Friday, and then he'll be attending WrestleMania. Local wrestler Martin Stallion and his brother Raymond are already over there, enjoying the fun. Great to see them enjoying yet another WrestleMania. Jealous as hell, but hope they enjoy themselves. And also, a lot of companies and a lot of individuals like Jim Ross. He's doing a show actually tonight as I speak, Thursday night, House of Blues in the French Quarter or Latin Quarter, whatever it is. House of Blues, Jim Ross is doing a show with some surprise guests. Also Jake Roberts, Scott Hall and Diamond Dallas Page. Two of them I met this past year or so, are doing a show also at the House of Blues tomorrow night. A lot of things going on, a lot of different companies, a lot of shows, a lot of things really going on across the whole wide city of New Orleans, Louisiana. And that is what WrestleMania does nowadays. It takes over a whole city. Events are already ongoing. Like I said, as I speak, a lot of events are happening this morning, all through the night, and all across, I said, the whole New Orleans area. Couple of bits about WWE today, and a couple of actually unexpected pieces of news, and I'll start with that. Firstly, WWE are releasing an album on iTunes, which I did not expect them. We'd heard the rumours quite some time ago. I heard the rumours as early as last summer. It never happened, but now it seems to be happening. WWE are releasing the music of WCW album on iTunes. Now this is looking an expensive album, £39. I hope there is a heck of a lot of themes and music on this album. Unfortunately, when I tried to go on it on the UK, and I've even tried switching it to the US iTunes, it says the iTunes store temporarily unavailable just now. And I just tried it a little while ago, so it's not available. I can't even get a track listing to highlight some of the theme tunes that are on this album. So hopefully, though, like I said, for $39.99, hopefully it is a hell of a lot of WCW theme tunes and entrance musics on this album. Obviously, I, like a lot of people, have taken themes from YouTube and other video services and other services, especially maybe perhaps ones you might be looking for ages. Like, actually, one I was looking for ages and ages was the theme tune of the artist formerly known as Prince Ayake. It's a really good song. If you've not heard it, it kind of sounds like I think the story is I think the song is while my guitar gently sleeps, something like, oh, I can't remember what it's a really famous guitar song. It's a really good song as well. Prison Nights, I think it is, maybe actually the song. It's on the same album I've got, actually, but it's a really good song. I was looking at it for ages. But if it does have that kind of themes on this WCW album, when it does become available, and when I do get have the money for it, I will be purchasing that album to own a lot of those songs. Hopefully it will be good. I'm intending this to be my last video before WrestleMania, but obviously if it becomes available, if I can get a track listing for the music of WCW album, I will put it up on YouTube when I can, if I can. They're also releasing another album, actually, WWE The Federation Years. This may just be a iTunes release of the Disc 1 of the WWE Anthology. They released it in late 2002. It was a Federation Years disc, a Attitude Era disc, and a Now Era, Present Era disc. The Federation Era songs were like Jake Roberts, Ultimate Warrior, Instrumental of the Bushwhackers, Bret Hitman Hart, You Light My Fire, I'll Be Your Hero. So many songs. I know a lot of people own a copy of the Anthology collection. that WWE released then. Attitude Era obviously had the ones like D-Generation X, Ken Shamrock, Sexual Chocolate, Latino Heat, and the Now Era had ones like Time to Rock and Roll for Trish Stratus's, Break Down the Walls, the songs around about 2002. And actually, the Attitude Era had Man's Man for William Regal, a short-lived theme tune for when he was in a bit of a days and haze on those days, and had that terrible gimmick. He really is a lot better. I have to say, I completely agree with Jim Ross when he was talking to Diamond Dallas Page this on just yesterday's Ross Report podcast. William Regal is has a great eye for talent. He's a great talent himself, and he's certainly an asset to the company. Now working in a backstage role, of course, he is a huge asset to WWE. Also being released is the Wrestling Road Diaries 2. Now that is the Wrestling Road Diaries 2 as in TOO. You can find this on coltmerch.com. That is COLTMERCH.com. Colt Cabana's official website. You go through to, even if you can't find it, go to coltcabana.com, click through the where it says merch or merchandise, and you will find the link there. It is the sequel to the original Wrestling Road Diaries. Of course, the first one featured Daniel Bryan, Colt Cabana and Sal Rinauro doing a small tour before Daniel Bryan went off, or Bryan Danielson went off to the WWE originally, and it's a really great DVD, and I'll be really interested to get this. I'll have to order this next week. He does say, Colt Cabana did say on his podcast today, which actually featured the guys featured on the Wrestling Road Diaries, Cliff Compton and Luke Gallows, that there may be a delay in sending these out because he is at Wrestlemania area. He's put a couple of shows in New Orleans this weekend. He's back for like 1 day, and then he's got about a 2.5 week tour of Japan, so getting it might be a bit of a delay. But he's going to send out as many as he can on the day that he is home. But I'll definitely be ordering this on Monday when my money comes in. But it's the Wrestling Road Diaries 2. It's similar to the original Wrestling Road Diaries. They go on a week-long tour. The price is £20, $20 even. It's $20 for just the movie. Extra $5 more. You can get the purchase. You can purchase the extra bonus disc to be included, featuring over an hour of deleted scenes and the video version of the live podcast at the end of the tour. Now, I believe that is the video version of today's edition of the Art of Wrestling podcast. As I said, hosted by Colt Cabana, featuring Cliff Compton and Luke Gallows. Give it a listen. It is really a genuine. I listened to it earlier. It is a really hilarious, really funny edition of the Art of Wrestling. It's show number 193 up to now on iTunes, or if sometimes iTunes is a bit slow and releasing. I don't know what the problem is. Sometimes it's you go on iTunes expecting you to get your automatic downloads to some podcasts. Sometimes it's slow, and pardon me, in them being available. But go to coltcabana.com. You can click through the link for the podcast as well, and you can download it there. It really is a hilarious episode today. It really is. Also, of course, after WrestleMania, and I'll run down the WrestleMania card before I finish this video, because this will be my last one before WrestleMania, because I've got a few things to do, a few things to catch up on, a few things I want to do in preparation for Sunday. I'm not dressing up. There's a competition about dressing up, but I really don't have the money to, unfortunately, pay for the things I was going to perhaps pay for to dress up as, but I don't have the money right now, so I'm not going to be dressing up. But I do have a few things to take care of before Sunday, because Monday is going to be total loss because of the time difference for WrestleMania. But on Monday, this new podcast, this new wrestling podcast will be launched. It's hosted by WWE Hall of Famer and one of my idols, as many of you know, Rowdy Roddy Piper. He hosted an edition of this on Monday Night Raw this week. It is Piper's Pit. Yes, this is what the name of Rowdy Roddy Piper's new podcast on podcast1.com. That's O-N-E, podcast O-N-E.com, and it'll also be available on iTunes completely for free on both sources. It's great. Obviously there'll be advertising a little bit, and there'll be sponsors for the show to keep it free for the fans. It's scheduled to be launched this coming Monday, April the 7th. Piper's Pit, the new Rowdy Roddy Piper podcast, the new Piper podcast, Piper's Pit, will be launched this coming Monday. And I have to say, I'm really glad that this was a worldwide exclusive for this, my YouTube channel. How was that? Well, you can look back on my Piper's Pit set for April 7th video. I tweeted podcast 1 asking any idea when it's going to be released, and a little while later they tweeted me back saying, yep, it is going to be, we are shooting for April 7th. We are shooting for April 7th. So hopefully it will be released this coming Monday. It has already been recorded last week. I don't know how many episodes Roddy Piper has been able to record so far, because I know he's a busy man. He's also in New Orleans. Practically everybody else is in New Orleans apart from me and a couple of people, it seems. I think the wrestling population around the world will probably feel about a bit empty wherever you are, because everybody, it seems, is headed to New Orleans, to the United States for WrestleMania. Hopefully one day I'll get to a WrestleMania, perhaps one day. Obviously, a guy has to dream, I suppose. Now, WrestleMania, obviously, like I said, hosted by Hulk Hogan this year. It's going to be a long pay-per-view. It's going to be at least 4 hours. And one thing that bugged me, and I can't remember whether I've mentioned this on a video before, because I tried to do a video a few days ago, but I got interrupted by a couple of different things, and was never able to do it properly. But the second hour of the pre-show for WrestleMania 30 is only going to be available on the WWE Network. That seems a bit silly and stupid to me. I know there are ways around it, and I don't condone it, I don't approve of it, because I do not know the legalities of such a thing, and I don't want anybody coming to me saying, I got things, no, they found out I was in India, or Germany, or Australia, and I faked the US address, because I think you need a US address to go through it, and I did this and I did that. If you want to try and go get around it, or do whatever thing you want to do to get the WWE Network just now, well, it's only available in the US. Hey, that is up to you, mate. I don't take any responsibility for that whatsoever. Like I said, there are ways around it. I do not condone it. I do not sanction. I do not agree with it. As I'm waiting until it appears in the UK to subscribe to it. But the second hour of the pre-show is only going to be available on the WWE Network. Like I said, it's only going to be available in the US at the moment, the WWE Network. The network is not available all across the world. And now I know a vast majority of either really passionate wrestling fans, or maybe perhaps more casual wrestling fans, may already be decided we'll order WrestleMania, we'll go to WrestleMania, we'll buy it, we'll purchase it from the box office, like it's available in the UK on Sky Box Office, and it's on Sky Box Office only, or to pay for it for whatever channel, whatever provider is in your area. I know a lot of people may have already decided that, but to be honest, it's not. The WWE Network is not available, or supposed to be available, anywhere else in the world except the United States. So they're really shooting themselves in the foot, because next year we don't know what stage they're going to be at with the WWE Network's global rollout. So they may make a lot less money off WrestleMania 31 than they will do for WrestleMania 30, because a lot of people, the vast majority of people around the world, still have to pay to watch WrestleMania 30, but they may be just paying their subscription to the WWE Network for WrestleMania 31. So I don't know how financially it's going to work after the WWE Network rollout around the world. I'm no financial expert. I'm not in outside the WWE circle, and I don't know exactly how it's all going to work. But the first hour is going to be all available on WWE.com, on YouTube, and all the normal pre-show avenues. But then the second hour, which you'd think would be the last push to get as many people to either subscribe to the network if you're in the US, or to go ahead and purchase it on your subscriber, whatever legal subscriber, a provider you have, to be able to watch WrestleMania 30. You'd think they would be pushing it. Have maybe the first hour on the WWE network, or perhaps, and then switch to a global audience. Give it. But they're doing it the other way around. It just seems silly to me. It really does. It seems very silly to me that this last push for people to buy WrestleMania will not be seen around the world, because, as I said, there's ways around it, and I'm not condoning it, but a vast majority of the wrestling fans around the world will be completely in the dark in the last hour leading up to their biggest pay-per-view of the year. It seems a silly and strange business decision to me. Well, that gets us to WrestleMania card, the WrestleMania matches. Before I finish off, this will be the last video before WrestleMania because I've got things to do, but the WrestleMania matches, I'll quickly go through them one final time. I put the final card up in a separate video, but just to end this video, I think I'll go through the matches. Firstly, the WrestleMania pre-show match. It will be the WWE Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way match. Again, I don't know whether this will be in the first hour or the second hour. I imagine the second hour, because otherwise you'll have the WWE. That's the danger of having an event like this. When you've got a long pre-show, I don't know how they're going to do the pre-show, because a lot of the fans in the arena, I know it's WrestleMania, but a lot of them will be sitting on their hands for quite some time waiting for WrestleMania to begin. And I know once it begins, the excitement of WrestleMania may take over, the fans will get up for it, but you're still talking about thousands of fans sitting on their hands doing absolutely nothing for an extended period of time. So hopefully they will involve the audience in the pre-show and have a really good fan interaction, and have it available perhaps on the Titantron or on whatever big screens that have the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, because it's never a good thing in wrestling to let a crowd grow really cold. So that fatal 4-way for the WWE Tag Team Championships will be on the pre-show. That's the Usos defending against Los Matadores versus the Real Americans versus Ryback and Curtis Axel. Then the matches for WrestleMania: The Shield versus Kane and the New Age Outlaws. The Vicky Guerrero Divas Championship Invitational 14 Divas Single Fall match for the WWE Divas Championship. The first time that the Divas have actually, the Divas Championship even, has been defended at WrestleMania. And I know certainly a lot of the NXT Divas, including Paige, are keeping a really close eye on this match. She said so on Twitter. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, 30-man Battle Royal for the Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy. I believe 3 of the spots have still to be filled on this. Hopefully they'll have a couple of WrestleMania legends taking part in this match. Ones who may have been friends with Andre the Giant, maybe likes of Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Perhaps Roddy Piper could make an appearance in this, Ricky Steamboat. I don't know. 3 slots apparently still to be filled in this matchup. John Cena versus Bray Wyatt, that'll be a great match. The Streak versus The Beast, Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. Randy Orton versus Batista, versus whoever the winner is between Daniel Bryan and Triple H. And that will of course be the main event, triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. So an interesting, good card. A few of these matches are obviously a lot of younger stars versus more older, established veterans. Of course, good mix of veterans and slightly more inexperienced people in that Fatal 4-Way Tag Team title match. But it looks a decent card for what WWE have on the roster. Like I said, certainly a few of the NXT people will be looking at the WrestleMania matches, watching it very closely. A lot of the NXT guys are actually down there performing shows during the WWE Access weekend, and really hope they do very well. Some of them are already being touted to be called up sometime in the summer after the WrestleMania season has ended. Of course, the night before WrestleMania, they've got the Hall of Fame ceremony. The full class of 2014 is Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, Mr. T, Carlos Colon, Paul Bearer, Lita, Jake the Snake Roberts, and of course the Ultimate Warrior. We don't know exactly so far who will be inducting Razor Ramon or Mr. T. My guess is possibly Kevin Nash, possibly Diamond Dallas Page, who will be inducting Jake the Snake Roberts. Carlos Colon will be inducted by Carlito, Eddie and Orlando Colon, who will be appearing at WrestleMania. Paul Bearer is not also to be announced. I'm guessing that might be the likes of The Undertaker. He should certainly be involved in that, and which I believe will certainly be the first appearance by The Undertaker at the WWE Hall of Fame ceremony for several years at least. He doesn't like to be in front of the cameras for this one. He normally hangs out backstage. He does attend these things, but he doesn't like to be out in the crowd or taking part in the ceremony. He kind of keeps to his character. Lita will be inducted by Trish Stratus. As I said, Jake Snake Roberts by Diamond Dallas Page, and Linda McMahon will be inducting the Ultimate Warrior, which is a bit of a surprise choice. That choice was done by the Ultimate Warrior himself. But that's going to be a good Hall of Fame ceremony. I don't know about airings on television. That's going to be on the W Network. I don't know about airings of any highlights so far on different television areas. I don't know whether it'll be available. Normally, traditionally, it is on Sky Sports at some point during the week after WrestleMania, but I don't know about this year. I haven't had the chance to check that, but certainly when the WrestleMania 30 Blu-ray and DVD sets come out, it'll be one to watch. Quite a few good names there. A decent class. Really looking forward to seeing Jake Snake Roberts being inducted, Scott Hall being inducted, and of course the induction for, sadly posthumously, for Paul Bearer. Before I finish actually this video, because I said it was just about a little roundup of things, because it is the last video I'm going to do before WrestleMania. It'll probably be about Tuesday or so at least before I do another video, unless I can get the Music of WCW track list up. News some people may have heard, some people may not have heard, but talking of WWE Hall of Famers, Terry Funk is on his way to Scotland. He will be appearing in Scotland, in Dundee, Scotland, for Scottish Wrestling Entertainment at their biggest event of the year, Hell for Lycra 11, this coming Saturday, August the 30th, at the Bonner Hall in Dundee. This is a huge announcement. Terry Funk, a true WWE Hall of Famer, a former NWA and WCW World Champion, one of the greatest hardcore legends of all time. Like I said in the previous video, when I said about when I passed on the word that Terry Funk is coming to Dundee, Mick Foley has always been accepted as a hardcore legend. But who was it that mentored Terry Funk in who was it that mentored Mick Foley in hardcore? It was Terry Funk. Just try and find clips of the Japanese death tournaments, a lot of the stuff they did elsewhere in Japan, and even in some of the places around the United States. Huge name, Terry Funk, a really legendary name. Will be 70 years old when he appears in Dundee, Scotland this Saturday, August the 30th. Tickets are already available at sweonline.co.uk/shop, or you can go to skiddle.com, or you can go to SWE's Facebook page, facebook.com/SW Online. click through the events, click through the Hell for Like 11 page. You can get the tickets there for just £15. Another 3 guests to be announced. 2 of the names I don't know, 1 I do, which I cannot release yet. But the next guest name will be released on their next show, which is Friday the 18th of April at the Curtin Community Centre in Dundee. Doors open at 6:45, and the show will begin at 7:30. It's at just SWE Live Wrestling show. The name that's going to be released on that show, according to the SWE, is a former Ring of Honor and Impact Wrestling star who has worked for many European promotions and been a champion in many companies. So it sounds like it's going to be a big name. Also, a lot of people again are suggesting, rumouring names, suggesting them on SW's Facebook page who it could be, but it certainly promises to be a good name, a decent name. If they've been in Ring of Honor, they've been in TNA, they've wrestled around the world, across Europe, held championships pretty much in every promotion that they've been to, according to SWE. It'll be a good name, whoever is announced. Certainly, it took us all by surprise on their last show on the 29th of March when they announced Terry Funk. A lot of people were guessing at who the WWE Hall of Famer Hall of Fame legend was going to be, but of course it turned out to be Terry Funk. They also got another couple of shows at the end of April. Friday 25th of April at the Minas Hill Community Centre, and Saturday 26th of April back for another one of their monthly Uprising shows at the Ardor Complex in Dundee. So some great shows coming up from SWE, and I believe they're perhaps even each of these shows announcing the other names who will be coming over for that Hell for Like 11 shows. But that again, huge news. I getting the feeling that might annoy some other people. To be honest, I'm just going to say it. To be honest, it might annoy some other people that SWE is bringing in the likes of Terry Funk, and I'm not going to say who, you know, because it might annoy some other promoters that SWE are getting these huge names. I mean, the last you look at go back to the Legends. Just search for Legends video and in my channel, and you'll see some of the legends that have been to SWE in the past. It might annoy some people that they're the ones that have been able to bring in Terry Funk. It may well just annoy some people that they're the ones bringing Terry Funk, this hardcore legend, over to Scotland, to Dundee, Scotland. It may annoy some people, but I've seen a couple of people complain about it. That it's not here or not there. It's in Dundee. It's for SWE. You know what? Whatever. You know, if other companies want to go ahead and try and book other people who they have, and they've done that before. They booked guests before. If they want to do that, then that's fine. They want to go ahead and try and book guests, different guests. Hey, that's fine. If they want to do that, if they've got the money to do that, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. They'll bring them into their promotion. But this just happens to be SWE is bringing in Terry Funk. Just happens to be SWE are the ones to have, through their contacts and however they've done it, been able to book and are bringing in Terry Funk, who I can guarantee will appear this August 30th. SWE advertises somebody, says they booked somebody to come in, then they booked somebody to come in, and that person will appear. I've been Bret Hart shows, Diamond Dallas Page show, Doug Williams, Roddy Piper, Tatanka, The $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, Grado, a lot of Patty Marty Skrull, a lot of Virgil, a lot of big names have come into SWE before, and hopefully will continue to come in to Scottish Wrestling Entertainment shows. So if anybody does complain, you know, that's fine. It's up to the different companies if they want to try and book. If they've, like I said, if they've got the money, if they've got the wherewithal and the ability to book a guest, a particular guest that they want, then go ahead, book that guest. But, you know, it just so happens it's SWE, Scottish Wrestling Entertainment, that have booked Terry Funk to come over this August 30th again. SWEonline.co.uk/shop. £15 gets you a ticket. There's just one single price for a ticket this year for Hell for Lycra. But, as I said, it is WrestleMania week. I am planning currently on, certainly will be attending the Discovery Point Wrestling WrestleMania party at the Students' Union at Dundee University. It's an over 18s only party because of licensing laws. I don't drink myself, but drink will be served. There'll be some kind of bar, I don't know about food or whatever. There's a few competitions going on in that area as well. It's going to be a really great party. I'll be taking my camera, taking a few pictures of the setup and of the fans. Hopefully, if I get the chance, take a few pictures of the fans enjoying WrestleMania. I'll put them up on the YouTube channel, and for my friends who know me, I'll put them up on Facebook so you can copy them at Discovery Wrestling if they think there's any good pictures there they want to use or they want to take a copy of. At least take them, but they'll be great. Hope everybody enjoys WrestleMania. I know this has been a really long video, but as I said, it's the last roundup video of everything going on before WrestleMania and until about the middle of next week at least. But WrestleMania 30, New Orleans, Louisiana, April the 6th, Mercedes-Benz Superdome. For those who are there or those who are going, I hope you really enjoy yourself. Would love to be there. A lot of great personalities there, and I do hope for anybody who is going to either a WrestleCon or a Legends reunion or any meet and greet thing, I do sincerely say to treat these guys with respect. A lot, whether it's a legend or whether it's a current WWE superstar, these guys bust a damn gut for entertaining the wrestling fans week in, week out. So please treat them with respect. I hate it at wrestling events or meet and greets where people, and I've been to a couple of wrestling meet and greet things where people ask really rude questions or say something that is really rude and it really is unacceptable to me. It really annoys me. It's really disrespectful. So I ask people to be polite, be respectful to these guys. You're more likely, for them to chat to you, or if they get a chance, like, or if there's no huge queue for them, you get to spend a couple of minutes with these great wrestlers. Certainly one year, hopefully, I will maybe perhaps make it to a WrestleMania and be able to go to Access or go to one of these convention things. It would really be great to meet some of these legends, more legends than I met already, and to meet all these guys. So be respectful, be polite, be patient if you have to wait a few minutes. Well, if you're in the queue to meet somebody, and there's a few people in front of you, and they're wanting a little chat with the guy, and they're wanting this and this and this autographed, and they're paying their money for it. It's remind you don't want to sort of say to pay your money and then them just autograph this, autograph that, right, get out, next person, blah blah blah, out. You're wanting to have your great experience. So I do hope that people remember that if you are going, or if you've been to one of those things, or if you're going to any of these kind of conventions, to really go ahead and be polite, be patient with these things. But as I said, hope everybody enjoys WrestleMania. I've been going long enough as well. Pretty much end this video. Looking forward to this WrestleMania party, the Students' Union Dundee this Sunday. It's going to be a tiring day, it's going to be a long day, but it's going to be great. WrestleMania 30 years of WrestleMania will be a huge celebration for wrestling fans all across the globe.